cooking a classic winter warming beef stroganoff because everybody loves it and now's a really great time to learn how to make it. We're just going to dive in because this is a very quick dinner that you can have ready easily on a drizzly weeknight within about 20 minutes. So the first thing I'm going to do is heat some oil, and I've already had this pan on the heat, so it should be nice and hot, because what we're going to do is sear off very quickly some thin strips of steak. Now remember, you're not actually cooking them through here. All you want to do is sear them because they'll go back in and cook through a bit later. We just want to get some crusty brown bits on the outside. Let's do it. Ah yeah, listen to that sizzle. Now I've got 200 grams of steak here, but you could do more if you wanted to. Just remember to cook it in batches so that you don't overcrowd the pan and end up with stewing beef. All right, that's perfect. That's all we need. You can see there are some little brown bits on our beef and we're not cooking it all the way through. So what I'm going to do now is remove it from the heat and just pop it to one side. There we go. Beautiful little brown bits on the outside. Pan back on the heat. And now we're just going to melt some butter into our pan. In with all that steak juice. Delicious. And then in with our butter, we're going to toss our onions and cook them down a little bit to make them nice and sweet. There's nothing quite like the smell of butter and onion in a fry pan. If that doesn't warm the house, nothing will. All right, our onion's cooking down beautifully. You can see it's starting to go translucent. This is a really great time to add our mushrooms. And I've got 200 grams of sliced Swiss brown mushrooms here. But again, with a lot of these recipes, you don't have to use that exact kind of mushroom. You can use whatever you've got. Now we're just going to cook that down until the mushrooms start releasing their juices into the pan. Okay, so our mushrooms are starting to colour and you can see that they've started to release their juices and to cook down a little bit. This is the perfect time for us to toss in our flour, which is just 2 tablespoons of flour. And what that is going to do is help our sauce thicken up in a little bit. So we'll just stir that through, make sure everything gets some flour over it. Yeah, there we go. And now we're just going to add 1.5 cups of beef stock. Now you can use any stock you like, but because this is a beef-based dish, I'm going with beef stock. But if you've got vegetable or chicken, that works just as well. So we're just going to pour that in and give it a stir. Stir. So good. Oh, there's flavours and smells all marrying together. All right, rest of the stock can go in now. Now we just want to stir to bring that all together, and then we're going to bring it up to the simmer, and we're almost done. Okay, now it's already starting to simmer and you can see it's beginning to thicken already, but this is the perfect time to add in our sour cream. And I have 1 cup of sour cream here, and when you put it in, it will slowly melt into the sauce. So we'll add that in and give it a bit of a stir. They're starting to get glossy and rich and thick and beautiful. And just while that is melting down, I'm going to add our finishing touch, which is a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and I like to add a tablespoon of horseradish cream, just to give it a little extra kick in there. But that's up to you, that's a personal touch of mine. Melt that all through. Oh, it smells so good now. Rich and creamy and decadent. All right, our sour cream is nearly all melted in, and I've turned the heat right down to a gentle simmer. And the very last thing we need to do before this is just going to sit and let all the flavors mix together is add our beef strips back in. So in that goes, and this is where it will do its final cooking. So we'll just let all those flavors work in together. Oh, coming together beautifully. Look at that. All right, now we're just going to let that thicken up slightly, and while we're doing that, I'm going to pop some pre-cooked pasta into bowls, ready for our beautiful stroganoff sauce to go right on top of. All right, our beautiful stroganoff sauce has thickened up so beautifully. Look at that creamy deliciousness. We are ready to serve. That is the easiest weeknight dinner for a cold night that I can think of right now. So I've got some pasta that I've pre-cooked and popped into my bowls there, and I'm just going to ladle some beautiful stroganoff on top of that pasta. Don't mind me making a mess. I'm not an elegant server. I don't pretend to be. On we go. The other thing I'm guilty of is always serving too much, so you'll just have to go with a big serving tonight. There we go. Look at that. Add some more of the creamy sauce. If you could smell that beautiful horseradish creamy delight going all through everything. Oh! There we go. All right, stop now, Jane. That is our stroganoff. I'm just going to sprinkle some chopped up spring onions on top because I love a bit of green on top of my dinners. But that is it. With a crack of pepper, we are done. That is dinner in less than 20 minutes, and I guarantee the family will love it.